Here's a look at the goals California will set in just 4 years, starting in 2026. 35% of new cars, SUVs, and small pickups sold in the state would need to be zero emissions. That would go up from there to reach 100% by 2035. Right now, just 12% of vehicles sold do not use fossil fuels.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what you just saw, which was California planning to ban all gas vehicles by 2035. And when I say ban, I mean you're not going to be able to buy one in California, but you can still own one if you have a used vehicle, if you buy it from somewhere else, but you can't buy any new gas vehicles in California by 2035. And they're going to do it incrementally. So I think starting in 2026, they're going to start to create little landmarks. So 25% of all vehicles must be electric by, I think, 2026. And then it's going to be 50 and 75 until you get to 100 in 2035, where there's no gas vehicles sold in the state of California. Now, this comes as no surprise. Gavin Newsom wants to push for electric vehicles. They want to push forward this Green New Deal, carbon neutral, all this and that and the third. That's what they want to do, or that's what they say they want to do. And I'm going to explain why I don't really believe they want to push electric vehicles 100%. Now, first things first, I just talked about the Dodge situation where they're canceling the Charger and Challenger gas-powered models. So you got to ask yourself the question, why would you go from a wildly successful V8 gas guzzler? So obviously you don't really care about the environment that much if it's about that. If it's the whole thing, okay, we got these gas guzzlers, they burn up so much fuel. You're not really that concerned about it if you've been producing this vehicle for 50, 60 years. But now all of a sudden you want to go from a V8 sedan or a coupe to all electric, not even a hybrid, not even a V6. Why? It's because of political, like I said, it's because of political pressure. They're seeing what California has been doing because this plan has been in the works for a very long time. They see what's going on. They're reading they're reading the tea leaves. I understand what's going on. Like, okay, they're going to ban gas cars in California. Where else are they going to ban that? Are they going to ban that in New York or Illinois or any of these other woke places? So we're going to have a hard time being able to sell these vehicles. And then they're going to want to tax gas because here's the next part. This is what I wanted to talk about when I'm saying that they don't just want you to get into electric car. They want to change the way you live. So when we're talking about the gas-powered vehicles, you may still be able to have a used gas-powered vehicle in California by 2035. You may be able to go to Nevada, Arizona, etc., and buy one and bring it to California. But how are you going to put gas in it in California? So let's say you go to Vegas from LA to buy your gas-powered vehicle, bring it back to LA. Well, all right, you want to get gas in Los Angeles, right, when you're moving around doing your thing. But how are you going to get gas when they're going to tax it to death? It's already very high in California as far as gas prices because of taxes. Only because of taxes, not because of anything else. Throughout the entire scandemic, throughout any time, you could look at California, especially Los Angeles, San Fran, the entire state, really. But you can look at California as having the highest gas prices in the nation. And the reason is because of the very high taxes. And it's to the point where these taxes are prohibitive. And they're going to be even more so come 2035 when they want to ban all gas powered vehicles. And they say they want you to be an electric. And here's why I think that's not going to be the case. First of all, California, you having rolling blackouts all the time. Certain periods of the day, you're not able to even use high-powered electronics or appliances. So let's say, for example, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., there's a ban on using any kind of high-power appliance. Wouldn't a gas-powered vehicle count as a high-power appliance? Let's say you have a house with a garage in it in California. Congrats to you. I know that costs $1 trillion, but anyway, you want to plug your car up after work. Well, hey man, you got to wait a little bit. You got to wait till the nighttime. You're about to go to bed to do that. You can't plug it up after work. And then how much is that going to cost you to do that? Because where is electricity coming from? First of all, you have rolling blackouts because the grid is strained already. Then you're going to put millions upon millions of electric cars on that same grid. It's already strained. It's already going through rolling blackouts. How are you going to be able to sustain that? You're going to bring in a bunch of dirty fossil fuel to be able to power the grid. We think you're going to have solar panels and windmills to power the grid in a place like California with all these electric cars on it, draining the grid down to the core. I think not. You can have nuclear power, sure, but you're going to need that fossil fuel. You're going to need that dirty coal, that petroleum. You're going to need that oil at a certain point to power the grid. So what's the purpose in having these electric cars if you still need the dirty fossil fuel to power the grid to charge them? Beyond that, how much will these vehicles cost? They already cost a lot of money right now. So how am I going to really be able to, what's going to happen is a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford to get an electric vehicle. It's hard right now to get a gas powered vehicle because of the shortages. I saw a Toyota Tundra, which I have, beautiful truck, pardon me, by the way. I saw a Toyota Tundra for $100,000. $100,000. A few years ago, that same truck might have been $35,000. $100,000 for a gas-powered V8 truck in 2022. Now, obviously, that's not necessarily the norm, but it can be. What about in 10 to 15 years? How much will a gas-powered vehicle cost compared to an electric? I think electrics are always more expensive because of the technology that's inside. And then don't let an electric vehicle break down. And you have that big battery inside. It's going to cost you $10 to $15 and $20,000 just to replace that battery. Okay, it'd be probably better to go ahead and just wreck the car and then get another one. But different story. I digress. The point is, these vehicles are going to be very expensive, and they may be prohibitively expensive for many in California. People are struggling just to be able to pay rent and eat, let alone buy a brand new $80,000 car. So what's going to happen is they're going to expand public transportation. Get on the train. All these big highways in LA and San Fran. Okay, we're going to convert half of the highway to high-speed rail, to train. Get on the train, and we'll take you from point A to point B. That's what's going to end up happening. And people aren't going to want to use that all the time because, like how California is, you got these crackheads running around, scurrying, causing a wreck. You might not want to get on that train. You don't have a car because you can't afford it. You don't want to get on the train because you got crackheads living on there, throwing doo-doo at you and whatnot. So you might just want to stay home. I think what's happening here as I close is all of this Green New Deal, carbon neutral, whatever they want to call it, is another way to control you. You don't want to get a car. You can't get a new car. All right, get on the train. And we'll cut it off at a certain time of the night so you can't even get from point A to point B, in an efficient way. Like you can't even really be outside at a certain time at night. You want to enforce a curfew? All right, stop running the train at a certain time. And people rely upon to be able to go from point A to point B. Do it that way. Oh, okay, you have an electric car? Well, let's plug into electric car and let's be able to control it from, Sacramento, the capital. You have a record, some kind of a traffic infraction. You have a suspended license or something crazy like that. Okay, your insurance is lapsed. Let's go ahead and just cut your car off. Let's stop you from being able to charge it. Let's look at your energy reading, your meter on your house and see if you're charging large appliances. I think it's just a way to be able to control you at the end of the day, because I believe they know that most people are not going to be able to make that transition. So they're going to have something else for you. They're going to start these projects, high-speed rail, subway, whatever they can, to put you on that, to control you. That's really what's going on. That's the bottom line. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this new proposed rule? They're going to vote on that today, which is Thursday, August 25th, 2022. They're going to vote on it today, but it's expected to pass, and it's been in the works for a long time. Even if it doesn't pass today, they're going to eventually try to do something like this in California. They're already pretty much going down that road. Gas is very expensive, prohibitively so. Trying to get a home is very expensive. So they want you to rent, not own a car, get on the train, and do what they tell you to do. it's becoming an authoritarian state, and I don't like it. So if you're living in California, hey, prayers, thoughts and prayers, but please escape before it's too late. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.